Two people, equally intelligent, equally informed, read the same article about climate change, vaccines, or some political scandal. One of them finishes and says, "See? This totally proves I was right." The other finishes and says, "See? This totally proves I was right." Same facts. Different realities. That glitch in the mental matrix has a name: confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is a powerful cognitive error that describes the ingrained tendency of the human mind to seek out, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that aligns with its existing beliefs, theories, or convictions. It is frequently referred to as the mother of all misconceptions and is considered a systemic deviation from logical or rational thought. Confirmation bias is the mind's habit of doing three things, usually without telling you. Searching for information that supports what you already believe. Interpreting ambiguous information in your favor. Remembering evidence that agrees with you and quietly forgetting what doesn't. It's like having a tiny political spin doctor living in your head, whose job is not to find the truth, but to make you look consistent. When we like an idea, we don't ask, "Is this true?" We often ask, "Can I believe this?" When we don't like an idea, we don't ask, "Is this false?" We ask, "Must I believe this?" It's a very different standard of proof. In other cases, the fundamental meaning of confirmation bias revolves around filtering and interpretation. 1. Filtering contradictions. It is the tendency to interpret new information so that it becomes compatible with our existing theories, beliefs, and convictions. Consequently, we actively filter out any new information that contradicts our existing views. The brain actively forgets contradictory or disconfirming evidence shortly after observing it. 2. Maintaining prior conclusions. The objective of the confirmation bias is to keep one's prior conclusions intact. Super investor Warren Buffett is quoted as noting that what the human being is best at doing is interpreting all new information so that their prior conclusions remain intact. 3. Positive test strategy. This bias operates through a deliberate mental process known as a positive test strategy. Instead of testing a hypothesis by attempting to refute it, as advised by philosophers of science, people unconsciously seek data that is likely to be compatible with their current beliefs. 4. System 1 influence. The operations of associative memory contribute to this general confirmation bias. System 1, intuitive, fast thinking, is highly susceptible to gullibility and bias in its belief formation. If System 2, conscious, analytical thinking, is busy or lazy, the initial belief persists. You can see confirmation bias in action almost everywhere. A detective gets an early hunch about a suspect and starts noticing every detail that fits that story, while ignoring evidence that points elsewhere. A doctor gets an early idea about a diagnosis and then keeps spotting signs that support it, missing clues that would suggest a different illness. On social media, the algorithm shows you posts you agree with, you like and share them, and the system keeps giving you more of the same. Eventually, your feed becomes a mirror that reflects only your own beliefs back at you. The more you scroll, the more convinced you become that everyone sensible thinks like you do, because everyone you see does. Whether a person believes that people are inherently good or if people are inherently bad, they will find daily proof to support their case by filtering out contrary evidence, disconfirming evidence. Confirmation bias is highly active in the business world. Executive teams often celebrate any indication that a new strategy is successful while dismissing or overlooking evidence to the contrary, often termed exceptions or special cases. Astrologers and economists utilize this bias by uttering vague prophecies that any event can substantiate, allowing followers to always find evidence to support the claims, e.g., finding evidence for God's existence even if he never shows himself overtly. The internet is fertile ground for confirmation bias. Many websites and blogs mirror the reader's existing values, liberal or conservative. And tailored content causes new or divergent opinions to vanish from the radar altogether, resulting in individuals landing in communities of like-minded people that reinforce convictions. People have a natural tendency to look for instances that confirm their story and vision of the world, a mechanism called naive empiricism. This is erroneous because seeing white swans does not confirm the non-existence of black swans. Instead, a single observation, a negative instance, is far more powerful in disproving a statement, disconfirmation, than millions of observations are in confirming it. Confirmation bias is why you can have attitude polarization. After seeing the same evidence, people end up more extreme in their original opinions. Belief perseverance, beliefs that survive, even when the evidence for them has been clearly debunked. Primacy effects, early impressions that are so sticky, everything else gets distorted to fit them. Illusory correlations, patterns we see that don't exist, like linking a group to a behavior based on a few memorable examples. And here's the annoying part. This happens even when you're smart and well-educated. Intelligence just gives you more ammunition to defend what you already believe. From the inside, confirmation bias doesn't feel like bias. It feels like being right. You remember the times your intuition was correct and forget the times it wasn't. You remember articles and studies that support your worldview and vaguely dismiss the ones that don't as flawed, biased, or not serious. You can watch your favorite politician bend the facts and somehow find a way to explain it. You can watch the other politician do the exact same thing and see it as proof of corruption. Same behavior. Different filters. Why does the mind do this? Because uncertainty is uncomfortable. Because admitting I might be wrong is threatening. Because we don't like tearing down beliefs we've built an identity around. Confirmation bias acts like a psychological bodyguard for your worldview. It protects your beliefs from attack, not by arguing with the evidence, but by filtering it, what you look at, how you interpret it, and what you remember later. This isn't always malicious. Sometimes it's even efficient. You can't reevaluate every belief from scratch every morning. You'd never get out of bed. But when the stakes are high, politics, health, money, relationships, this shortcut can quietly push you into very bad decisions while you feel completely rational. So what can you do about it? To fight this natural tendency, one must actively pursue the opposite of confirmation. Seek disconfirming evidence. Individuals like Charles Darwin made a practice of immediately noting down any observations that contradicted his theory. The resourceful student consciously looks for disconfirming evidence rather than merely confirming initial theories. Murder your darlings, a memorable motto suggests that people should write down their beliefs and set out systematically to find disconfirming evidence. This process is difficult because axing beliefs that feel like old friends is hard work. Prioritize negative knowledge. The central tenet of skeptical thinking is that negative knowledge, what is wrong, what does not work, is more robust to error than positive knowledge, what is right, what works. You know what is wrong with a lot more confidence than you know what is right. You won't fully escape confirmation bias, it's baked into the way human minds work. But you can debug yourself a little. When something agrees with you perfectly, ask, what evidence against this am I ignoring? When you're very sure about a strong opinion, ask, what would change my mind? Is there any evidence that could? When you feel the urge to dismiss opposing evidence, ask, am I evaluating this, or defending myself from it? Real open-mindedness isn't having no opinions. It's having opinions you're willing to update.